So one of the biggest mistakes that startups, new companies make in the beginning is that they think that marketing is too expensive. And one of the best ways to ensure that you're part of that 10% that make it is that you do choose marketing. And I'm going to show you an example. This is actually something that I really pointed out to one of my clients as far as to how marketing should work and how if you forecast and if you plan right and if you start to think in this method, you can make it work. So what I want to do is I want you to think of each one of these purple squares as a month, right? So we've got 6 months here. We've got a business that's just getting started, probably already been in existence for a little while. And I had a client, their revenue stream was already at about $4,200 a month, right? And this amount of money doesn't really matter right now, but what I want you to think about is you could start any type of side hustle and generate some sort of monthly income and average. And it's usually better if you have a product to sell. If you do have a service, then I would suggest you try to figure out some sort of subscription or some product that you can add to your service so you could start to get some predictable income. But the bottom line is, after a few short months, if you really start to work, you're going to start to see that, okay, on average, if we hustle, we're going to do X amount of dollars per month. So um, this particular client was taking that $4,200 every single month and they were paying bills with it. Nothing wrong with that. They're paying the bills, paying themselves a little bit. As a business, you do want to pay your bills. That's it. That's important. But I challenge them to just take just $200 and use that for marketing. What does that mean? We're going to do some email marketing. We're going to do some ads with Facebook, maybe Google ads. We're going to get out there and network. We're going to print some business cards, yard signs, whatever it takes for us to be active and be seen, um, you know, in the area and to our audience. And I know what some of you guys are thinking, $200 does not go a long way. And you're right. But there are a lot of free softwares that you can use nowadays to get started. And then you can use that $200 where it's best seen fit. So we took the $200 and that allowed us to close one new sale at $50 a month, right? And that goes for all 6 months. Okay. So now what does that mean? That means now our new revenue stream went from $4,200. $4,200 a month to $4,250. Okay. So now we know every single month, no matter what, we got $4,250 coming here. And then what happens? We're going to take that 200, we're going to invest it again into the next month. And lo and behold, we close another sale. Awesome. And that again goes now for the rest of the time, right? So now our revenue in this month, we started at 4,200, but we get this $50 and we get this $50. Now we're at 4,300, right? So we invest another $200 here, and guess what happens? We get zero. And they go, oh no, it's a horrible thing, right? So zero for there. But what do we have here that we didn't have here? We now have a list. Because we've spent the last 2 months marketing and advertising and collecting information. So now here we have a list to continue to talk to, and we nurture that list. So guess what happens here? We're still at 4,300, but we invest another $200 and we close 3 sales and end up doing $150 a month. And we get to keep this $150 a month all the way through, right? So now we're at 44.50. Okay? I think you can see where this is going, right? So we continue to invest at 200, close another 2 sales, $100 a month. We're now at 45.50. Okay? Invest another 200 and the saga goes on, right? So whether you make sales here or not, it doesn't really matter because this list is going to continue to grow all the way through. And you now have the opportunity to take the money that you spent here and continue to invest it over and over and over and over and over again in order to get new clients. Now, what I would also say is that $200 is not a lot of money, but we are increasing our revenue stream. Inside of 6 months, we grew from a consistent 4,200 to 4,350. It might make some sense to invest some of this new money that we're making and increase that budget, because by increasing that budget, we also increase the opportunity to get more sales. So this is what the 10% are doing. They're figuring out how to market correctly. And honestly, let's be real, in the beginning, you may lose this, you may lose this, you may lose this, but you may spend $600 figuring out exactly how to communicate with your market, exactly how to sell to them. And once you find this rhythm right here, you get to duplicate the process over and over and over again, and you get to print money. So there's something I want to make abundantly clear about choosing marketing and about the example that we just talked about. We increased our revenue stream by $350 a month. You multiply that by 12 months, guess what? That's $4,200 per year, which doesn't sound like a lot of money, but I want you to remember that in the beginning, we had a revenue stream of $4,200 per month. Okay, so that means 12 months, we're doing $4,200 every single month consistently. By marketing and getting that lifetime value increase, we now got a free month. We have a 13th month in revenue, right? So that's a powerful thing, because that means we have technically more money than we do years as far as our startup. And if we just continue to market and advertise, be consistent, test and measure, which I know sounds like a lot, but really once you start to develop a system and you start to get really comfortable with it, it gets good.